So recently, I played the video game Muzy, or is it Muzzy? We're gonna call it Muzzy because I think that sounds funnier. So Muzzy is, it's what it sucks. I was gonna say it's whatever, but no, it kind of sucks. It's got that really iconic mascot horror problem, where everything feels like it's done solely for the point of tedium and to draw out the runtime a lot more. Like, it took us quite a bit, and by us, I mean me and my friend, because we played this for our Let's Play channel 3-1, albeit, as of recording, that video is not up yet, but hopefully it will be by the time this is uploaded. But, Muzzy is about, these, like, little green creatures, or creature. I think there's just a creature. No, there's two, because there's a big tall one. Yeah, there's a big tall green creature, and there's, like, this little green creature. I presume these are the Muzzies. I'm pretty sure these are the titular Muzzies. I don't know what else they would be, so we're just gonna say that they are, in fact, the Muzzies. The plot, honestly, I would love to say that I know what the plot is, but I really don't, because at the start of the game, you're given this massive document to read over, which is essentially the story. I read like two lines of it, and I was like, I'm not gonna read all that, and I just skipped. Forgive me for doing so. I just, I don't know, that feels like a really lazy way to open your horror game, no? Like, just no creative ways of, visually portraying what's going on, or even just having, like a game I talked about literally a couple minutes ago, because I like recording these back-to-back, is Radio Wave. And while I'm not gonna pretend like the opening section of Radio Wave is anything but really, really funny, it still does a better job of verbally portraying what's going on by showing your character driving up to the Radio Wave HQ and a guy in the background kind of telling you, your job and what you're doing and stuff. I think the idea of just giving the player like, oh, here's this like lore paper that tells you everything, it's really lazy and it's really overdone. Like the Poppy Playtime games do this a lot, and it's one of my biggest problems with those games. And it's not that, there's nothing wrong with having documents in your game that give you supplementary lore information, but it feels like, with a lot of these mascot horrors, the fundamental information you need to know is locked away in these files, in these documents. And it's, that's not really much of a game mechanic now, is it? It feels like a major cop-out, just, oh, instead of having to, make a more intuitive game with more intuitive game design, more better game flow, game feel, as they say, we'll just write out a piece of paper and put that somewhere in the map, and then they pick it up, and then that's it. And I get it, it's easier, but it's not really creative, is it? Anyway, I got a little bit off track. So in Muzzy, you're like a detective or something, and you're trying to find, I presume, some missing children. I didn't really read it much, but literally all of these games, like all of them, are about missing children to some degree or extent. So, I'm willing to put my cards on the deck and say, yeah, it's probably that. You go through this, like, opening area where it's, like, a bunch of different playgrounds you have to go through, and so it's like, you go through one playground, you get a key for the next one. You go through that playground, you get a key for the next one. It's like that kind of thing, you know what I mean? And it's really, really annoying. It's incredibly annoying. It's annoying, it's cheap, it's padding, it's just, I hate it, okay? I hate game design like this. Especially in games that are trying to be scary. It doesn't feel like build-up to me, Especially in this game, because you just get confronted by a massive snake monster in the second one. He doesn't do anything, he's quite nice, honestly. But it felt a little jarring. It's like, oh, we're doing this now? Speaking of the snake monster, he actually got a very infamous redesign. Because as you can see in our playthrough here, this is how he looks in all current iterations of the game. But in the old demo, before the full release, he looked like this, and it sparked a bit of controversy, and I'm gonna put two characters side by side. I would say the greatest crime of this character design is that it's horribly uncreative. It's very, very, very derivative. And I hate making assessments of creators' goals with their art, but this did genuinely give me the hunch that this game may not have been made for the passion of game design or the passion of telling stories, as much as it was made to ride the coattails of a much bigger series in the hope that it can generate income based on that alone. Hey there, editing me here. I'm now realizing I forgot to address the Nerf gun in the room, which is the, you know, that gun you have. You see it on screen right now, that thing. I don't mention that for the entire video. And honestly, the reason why is because it ultimately doesn't amount to anything. I mean, like, you use it to solve puzzles, but it doesn't... There's no reason for it to be memorable, and all the puzzles you do to it ultimately could be done by just interacting with it. It reminds me a lot of the Ban drone, where there really isn't a reason for that mechanic to exist in the game. It doesn't benefit anything, it's not fun to use, it ultimately doesn't amount to any major moments of gameplay. Like, it's a puzzle solver, it really doesn't help you out with any of the horror aspects. So it just makes you wonder, you know, why even bother? If you ultimately want to make a puzzle walking simulator, just do that, you know? Just do that and make it a good one. You don't need to integrate a really needless mechanic into a game that's, you know, ultimately only going to amount to padding. I don't really understand the purpose, but all these games do it, so I'm not surprised it's in there. So I kind of have a rule with these mascot horror games. If I'm really hating my time with it, then I will quit after the first death. Because I feel like once I experience the actual monsters and what they're capable of, that's what's either going to make or break my experience with the game. And this certainly broke it. After the first death, I exited immediately. my buddy didn't protest. You know, neither of us are having a very good time playing it. The lore of this one implies that the Muzzies and all the monsters are robots. I would say that's different, but, you know, Five Nights at Freddy's exists, so... No, it's not. And yes, just for the sake of fairness, I have watched a non-commentary Let's Play going over the rest of the game, just so I can see, you know, if something really cool happens at the end that I may have missed. I don't know. The game ends on a cliffhanger, like literally all of these games do, because they want to make it a whole series. I, for one, would be shocked if we ever get a Muzy 2. If we ever do get a Muzy 2, I probably won't play it. I'm just not interested at all in wherever the series is going. If the creators happen to be watching this some way, somehow, which to be honest, I highly doubt. They don't strike me as the kind of people who are very interested in their own work. But if they are, you know, just because I didn't like your game doesn't mean, you know, don't keep making stuff. Always keep making stuff. Try and be, with your next project, maybe try and let it simmer a little bit more. Let it cook in the oven a little bit more before you finalize character designs and stuff, you know?
Hey there, man. It's me, the Muzy. Yep, it's me, the titular Muzy. That's me. As you can tell, I'm not in the best situation right now. I got addicted to my own freaking Muzz, man. You wanna know why? 'Cause I didn't subscribe to a video I liked. And now I'm in this situation, man. I'm all muzzed up. I don't know what to do with myself, man. If only I subscribed. Maybe I wouldn't be on all this Muzz. It's too late for me, but it's not too late for you. You could subscribe and get off that Muzz. Do it for me. Quick, I'm fading. I want the last thing I want to see is someone subscribing. Please, I'm fading. You must subscribe. Please, you must subscribe.